Commerce. This is SST Edupedia. Myself, Assistant Professor Manju Jhuriani. So today we are going to study subject called Research Methodology from the standard TYBCBI. Unit is 5th and the topic is Research Report, Semester 5. So let's start. So first we will see meaning of report writing. So whenever we conduct any research, we prepare a report, research report. So what is the meaning? Report writing is the last activity of the research process. So at the end, after data collection, data processing that we have seen before, we prepare a report called research report. So after finalizing conclusions and recommendations, the researcher has to communicate the details of his research work in the form of a summary document called research report. So it is a kind of a summary. Whatever we have done in our research, from data collection to data processing to data analysis and interpretation, everything is included in the research report. So it is a formal systematic statement on the investigation in any matter of problem. Whatever our topic is of research, we have to prepare a research report. So it is the final outcome of the research project undertaken. So at the end, from introduction to at the end, everything is included in the research report. The purpose of reporting is to supply useful information for policy decision on the part of management. So what is the purpose of preparing report? That management can easily make decisions. For example, our sales are declining, in our company sales are declining, and we have to solve that problem, and we have conducted and research on that. So the report is presented to the management to make decisions regarding that. So it is very important to prepare report. So there is a proper structure and proper way to prepare a research report, so that we will see in detail in this chapter. Next we have definition of a report. So what is the definition? According to American Marketing Society, the purpose of report is to convey to the interested person the whole result of the study in sufficient detail and to arrange as to enable each reader to comprehend the data and determine for himself the validity of conclusion. So what this definition says? That we convey our results in a compact, in a summary way to interested person, whoever are interested people, that they person will read our research report, they can comprehend the data, they can understand the data, and they can by themselves check the validity, that whether the report is right, how much valid is our report, they can decide by themselves because everything is included in that report. Here, so we have done the meaning and definition. Now we will see the characteristics or features of research report. So what are the features of a report? First, it is a complete, compact, systematic and self-explanatory document. So it is a complete document. Every detail about our research is included in this document, from our research topic to how we collected our data, which sources we use, how we processed our data, and how we interpreted, analyzed our data. Everything is there. So it is a self-explanatory document. We don't have to explain it. The reader can understand that by themselves. Next is useful for solving marketing or business problems. So why we conduct research? To solve any particular marketing problem, like I said before. For example, sales is declining in our company. So we have to find the causes. Why customers are dissatisfied, or there is any fault in our product. So we will find the reasons, and then we will find the recommendations, measures to solve that problem. So report will help us in finding that measure. The next is prepared as per the standard format available. So we have a fixed format, like whenever we prepare a report, it includes some introduction, then sources of data, processing of data, then analysis and interpretation. So there is a particular format that we follow for preparing our report, so that we will see further in detail. Then next, it is submitted by the researcher to the sponsoring agency. So what is the sponsoring agency? For example, we have to conduct some research, but we don't have the time. So we appoint some agency on our behalf to conduct that research. So that is called sponsoring agency. So we are sponsoring agency. We are giving our research work to some another person. That person will conduct research on our behalf and they will give us research report, and based on that we will make our decision. So sponsoring agency, that I am giving my research work to some another person because of the time constraints or any other reason. Then next is useful to sponsoring agency for introduction of remedial or follow-up measures. Like I said, if I have any problem and I have to conduct research on that, so I will give my research work to some another person. For example, I have to conduct a marketing research about customers' likes, dislikes, expectations, and I can give that research work to some another researcher. They will conduct the market research, they will find the customers' likes, dislikes, and they will present the report to me. So I will that report will be useful to me. Everything is given in that report, from the causes of the problem to measures to recommendations and suggestions. So it will be easy for me to take remedial and follow-up measures. Then next is, it needs detailed scrutiny. So preparing a report is an important step. It requires detailed scrutiny, detailed checking. We cannot prepare that easily. So detailed checking, we have to prepare it step by step in a detailed, proper manner. It should be prepared. Then next is different types of reports. So there are different types of reports are available. There can be oral reports, there can be written reports, or report prepared for publication, or summary report, or interim report which is prepared for the in middle of the research. So there are different types. That are also there, that we will see different types of reports in detail. Then next, it acts as a line of communication between researcher and the sponsoring agency. So how researcher will communicate about the research to the sponsoring agency is with the help of this report. In this report, everything is there, everything is written from introduction to how we collected data, what sources we use for it, till the conclusion, suggestions, everything is there. So it acts as a communication line between the researcher and the sponsoring agency. Then next, it acts as a permanent record. Because it is a written document, we write a report, we prepare it in a proper manner. So it is a written record, so it is permanent. Whenever in future we need to see that record, see that report, we can see that. So it is permanently there for us for future references. Then last one, it speaks about the caliber of research team and researcher. So report speaks about the researcher. If the report is prepared in a proper way, everything is included in a proper way, it is structured in a proper way. So it speaks about the research team and the researcher, that how well they have conducted the research and how talented they are, how skilled they are, and how well they have conducted the research, from data collection to data processing to interpretation and analysis of data. Everything is there in the research report. So these are the characteristics of research report. This very important document prepared at the end of the research work. So moving forward, next we have advantages, functions, or importance of research report. So what are the benefits we get from preparing a research report, or importance of research report? So first one is presents data, conclusions, and recommendations in an organized form. So whatever data is there from the research, conclusions, and recommendations, everything is available in a compact form. We don't have to ask to any person. The researcher prepares a document called research report, and every data about the research is available in the report, and we can easily refer that. Then it reflects quality of research work. So like I said before, the report reflects the quality, like how well the research is conducted. The report is a mirror of that. So we can understand that from the report itself. Then it facilitates policy decisions and follow-up measures. So whenever we are doing any problem-oriented research, so it supports policymakers to make decisions on the basis of the causes, that what problem is there and what are the causes of that problem. So what measures we need to take, we can follow that. Policy decisions can be made on the basis of report. Then acts a document of permanent record. So it is a permanent record, it is not temporary. Research report we prepare once and we can refer that in future for whenever we need that report we can refer that. So it is a permanent record. Then it acts as a base of follow-up measures. So follow-up measures like I said, customers are dissatisfied. So we will make some changes in our products according to the conclusions from our research. So we can take follow-up measures based on our research report. What conclusion was there? Then gives publicity to research work. So we can publish our reports, research report in different journals, different magazines, different articles. So it gives publicity to our research work. We can submit our research report in different journals, different publications. So we will get the publicity and the researcher will get his name, author's name will be published in different journals, different sources. So then next is management's action on report indicates its practical utility. So management action, management will take decision regarding the problem. That what is the problem? For example, sales is declining. So why the sales is declining? What is the problem? Like customers are dissatisfied or product is not proper or employees there is some fault on the behalf of the employee. So it indicates the practical utility. There is a practical utility that means we will follow the report in real life. We will use the data and make our decision based on the report. It acts as a communication channel. So it acts as a communication channel. Like when you have to report your report, you have to submit your report to any person, management or any journal. So it acts as a communication channel. You don't have to explain it everything. It is there in the report. It acts as a communication channel by itself. Then last one, miscellaneous function. So there are other various benefits like it is a proper summary, it is a compact document, everything about research is available in the document. It helps the researchers, it helps the audiences to understand about the research, that what was the topic, how they collected the data, how the data was analyzed, everything is there. So these are the advantages, functions or importance of research report. So it shows that how much it is important to prepare a research report. So I think you're clear with features and advantages. So now moving forward, structure of research report or layout, components or you can say content. So what are the contents? Whenever we prepare a report, there is some structure fixed. So generally this structure is followed. First is introduction part, A part, then B is main body of the report. So in main body there will be some data. Then last C will be conclusions and recommendations. What conclusions we found based on our research. Then last one is appendices. So we will see these parts in detail. First one is introduction. So whenever you prepare any project or any report, there is an introduction part. So what it consists, first is title of the report. Title should be there like a report on declining sales in the company XYZ. So title should be there. Then letter of transmittal. Means whom we are addressing that report, why we are preparing that report, to the management, to the policy maker, for the sponsoring agency. So letter of transmittal should be there. Then title page should be there. Then index of the content, index, and what page there is data collection. So a proper index should be there. Then acknowledgement, whom we have to acknowledge, the persons whom we have to give credit, give acknowledgement. Then description of the marketing problem, that what problem we are doing research on. What is the purpose, why we are doing the research, that the marketing problem should be described. Then purpose and scope of the study. So why we are conducting the research, to solve our problem of declining sales, for example, the purpose and the scope. Scope, that is the area of the study, like it is based in the particular city or particular district. So the scope of the study should be mentioned. Then review of literature should be there. Then research methodology. Review of literature is the previous studies, previous research we refer for our study. Whenever we are going to conduct a research, we refer previous researches which are conducted on that particular topic or in particular area. So it's called review of literature. Then research methodology. It means different methods used for conducting our research, what methods we have used, what data, primary data or secondary data, which type of data we have referred. Then last is summary of major findings. What is the findings? What findings we found in our research. So this is the introduction part of our report. Then next it comes main body of the research report. In main body, the problem or the topic which we have selected for the research, the analysis of the problem is there, how we have analyzed the data. For example, if we are going for the primary data, so the questionnaires that we collect from our customers or our sample, so the way that we will analyze that questionnaire, the answers of the people, so analysis will be there. Then methodology used for analysis, we will use different methods, different statistical methods for analyzing the data, that will be there. And presentation of findings and limitations. So what findings we got, what we found on conducting our research. For example, customers are dissatisfied because they find that our product is very expensive or the packaging is not proper. So we will get the reasons and findings that will be included in the main body of the research report. Then comes the conclusions part. So conclusion is that is what we concluded. The conclusion are the based upon the analysis and interpretation of data. Conclusions constitute the core part of the report as recommendations are based on the conclusions drawn by the researcher. So conclusion is an important part because the audience is the person, the policy makers are interested in the conclusion, that what was the problem, what is the conclusion, what was the causes, what were the measures we need to take. Because based on the conclusions, we will make our recommendations, our suggestions. So for example, the conclusion was that customers are dissatisfied because our product is expensive. So maybe we can provide some discounts, we can provide some facilities, or we can make change in our marketing practices. So a researcher has to use his knowledge, experience and maturity while drawing conclusion which must be fair, logical and practical. So drawing conclusion is an important part. So a researcher has to use his knowledge and experience in a proper way to properly conclude the report. Then after conclusion comes recommendation. So recommendation constitute an essential aspect of reporting. Based on the conclusion, the researcher have to provide some recommendations, some suggestions that how we can improve the situation, how we can improve the research problem. So sponsoring organization is interested in the recommendations. So whenever we are conducting and research for any sponsoring agency or any organization, we have to provide some recommendations. So at the end, the report, there should be signature of the researcher also with the date. Then next is appendices or annexes. So appendices include forms and questionnaire issued, maps, tables, charts and diagrams, technical detail of sample, design, procedures and methodology of study, checklist and other illustrative material and glossary of terms used in the report. So whatever we use, like we use some questionnaire to collect the data, or we use some charts or tables. So whatever we use, the resources we use while collecting the data, that needs to be included in the appendix or annexes part. Then next is footnotes and bibliography in the research report. So footnotes are included at the bottom of the research report. So and it is referenced through a superscript number within the main body of the report. So footnote includes some technical words we can explain. And we can include some footnotes in our research report to explain some terms or give some extra detail about the report. So, and the bibliography page is the last section of the report and includes the full citation information for any source cited or referenced throughout the report. So, whenever we are going for the secondary data or whenever we are collecting data from some other person's research, we have to give citation or reference to them, that is called bibliography. Whenever we use the data from some other person's research report, we have to give credit to them in the bibliography. So it relates to the books, reports, journals, etc. used while drafting the report. So whenever we are using some other person's report for our data, we have to give citation to them. Then next is index and glossary. So finally, index should be there in our report on various topics, and the relevant page number should be there in the index. Either it is at the beginning of the report or it can be included at the end. Then glossary contains meanings and definitions or difficult words or terms used in the report. Or we can also include the glossary. Glossary means definitions of difficult terms at the end of the report. Then next is a note on review of literature in the research. So like I said, review of literature is the previous researches we have referred for our data. So normally a researcher gives details of review of literature in research in the introductory part or section of his research report. So we include the review of literature in the introductory part generally. So it suggests the relevance of the present research project with the previous one. So whenever we are conducting a research, generally that research is conducted before, the research on related topics is conducted before by other researchers. So whenever we are referring the other researchers, we have to provide the details in the review of literature. So a literature review is a comprehensive summary of previous researches on a specific topic. We prepare a summary that how many researches we have referred, whose researches was that, and we have to prepare a summary. So it surveys scholarly articles, books and other sources relevant to a particular area of research. So this is the structure of the research report. Generally it includes the introduction part. Then main body and conclusions and recommendations. So this is the general structure. It can be changed according to the preference of the researcher. We can change that. So generally this structure is followed in the research report. So today we saw the meaning of the research report, then definition, features, importance and the structure of the research report. So I hope it is clear. In the next lecture we will see further part of the research report, right? Thank you.